right. Oh, hello everyone. Welcome to the stream. Mr. Campy here with chapter 23. Sorry if it's a little bit janky. I am trying some new things out with my camera and setup. Have a couple of events that I'm getting ready for. So there we go. Sorry if you can't hear me. I am here now. Welcome everybody to the stream. And I do apologize to some of you who missed out. I did an impromptu stream on Monday. It was a last minute thing, so I figured, all right, why not? So we are actually on chapter 23. You can find chapter 22 on my YouTube channel. But basically, what happened in chapter 22 was there was a huge conflict because there's a new priest in town. The old one that was kind of like passive, wasn't really pushy with the Christian religion on the Igbo people. He had to leave because of reasons. But now we have a new priest that's a little bit more zealous, and the followers who really want to push Christianity, they kind of took advantage of that and caused some issues, caused some major problems, and it resulted in basically the Umofians getting really mad and burning down the church. So we can kind of guess who's really happy about that. Of course, it's Okonkwo, our violent boy. So yeah. So I hope that you're excited for chapter 23. I did a little bit of skimming beforehand to see what we were in for, and there's quite a bit. I'm excited for chapter 23. So same thing. Hey, how's it going, Mahad? Welcome to the stream. It feels like forever since I last talked to you, my dude. But thank you for tuning in. You get a little preview as to what we're going to be talking about tomorrow in class. We're going to be doing chapter 23. Of course, if you're watching the recording, I hope that you ask questions or leave any comments of anything that you see as interesting or something that pikes your interest, because in chapter 23, and I did read ahead, there's a lot of stuff that happens. Okay, so this is the aftermath of the Omofians kind of taking revenge. I guess I forgot to mention the thing that the overzealous follower did was that he unmasked the Igwugwu. And in class, I talked about, like, it's kind of like going to Disneyland and seeing your favorite character like Mickey Mouse or Donald Duck, and then just some unruly person takes off their mask, takes off the head of Donald Duck or whatever, and you see like a short little Filipino guy inside. It's pretty traumatizing for the kids who truly believe in it, and it is demystifying for the adults who just want to escape and want to believe. It's like finding out that Santa Claus isn't real and all that stuff, right? So this follower broke one of the rules and basically took a dump on their religion and their beliefs and their customs and traditions. And so in retaliation, the Umofians took fire to the church. Okay, so here's the aftermath, chapter 23. And I did ask, how many of you think this would thought that this would fix their problems? And there was a resounding, like, no, this isn't going to make it any better. This is actually going to make it worse. So kudos to you all who made that prediction, and let's see how it goes. Also, if you're wondering why, like, there's this weird shaded box and all that, and, like, I don't appear as normal, because I'm actually using a green screen. Check it out. Like, I'm using a green screen. Why not? I'm trying new things. All right. Chapter 23, things fall apart. For the first time in many years, Okonkwo had a feeling that was akin to happiness. The times which had altered so unaccountably during his exile seemed to be coming round again. The clan which had turned false on him appeared to be making amends. Remember, Okonkwo was really upset that the Umofians let these Christians hang out for so long in their homeland. So he's really glad that they finally took action. He had spoken violently to his clansmen when they had met in the marketplace to decide on their action, and they had listened to him with respect. It was like the good old days again, when a warrior was a warrior. Although they had not agreed to kill the missionary or drive away the Christians, they had agreed to do something substantial, and they had done it. Okonkwo was almost happy again. For 2 days after the destruction of the church, nothing happened. Every man in Umuofia went about armed with a gun or a machete. They would not be caught unawares like the men of Abame. Remember, after Abame took action and killed the missionary, and the missionary's friends found out, they thought everything would go back to normal, like there was no issues. But they were caught unawares, and the missionary's friends came back with basically a little army and killed everyone in the marketplace. So Umuofia learned, and they're not going to take that chance. Then the district commissioner returned from his tour. Remember, the district commissioner is the government that the colonists set up. The Europeans set up their own government, and the district commissioner is the head of it. Mr. Smith went immediately to him, and they had a long discussion. The men of Umuofia did not take any notice of this, and if they did, they thought it was not important. The missionary often went to see his brother white man. There was nothing strange in that. 3 days later, the district commissioner sent his sweet-tongued messenger to the leaders of Umuofia, asking them to meet him in his headquarters. That also was not strange. He often asked them to hold such palavers, as he called them. Okonkwo was among the 6 leaders he invited. Okonkwo warned the others to be fully armed. An Umuofia man does not refuse a call, he said. He may refuse to do what he is asked, but he does not refuse to be asked. But the times have changed, and we must be fully prepared. And so, the 6 men went to see the district commissioner, armed with their machetes. They did not carry guns, for that would be unseemly. They were led into the courthouse where the district commissioner sat. He received them politely. They unslung their goatskin bags and their sheathed machetes, put them on the floor, and sat down. "I have asked you to come," began the commissioner, "because of what happened during my absence. I've been told a few things, but I cannot believe them until I have heard your own side. Let us talk about it like friends, and find a way of ensuring that it does not happen again." Ogbuefi Ekwueme Ogbuefi Ekwueme rose to his feet and began to tell the story. "Wait a minute," said the commissioner. "I want to bring in my men, so that they too can hear your grievances and take warning. Many of them come from different places, and although they speak your tongue, they are ignorant of your customs. James, go and bring the men." His interpreter left the courtroom and soon returned with 12 men. They sat together with the men of Umuofia, and Ogbuefi Ekwueme began to tell the story of how Enoch murdered Anigugu. So remember, Enoch didn't necessarily kill a person, but what he did is he murdered the spirit. Like he took away the mask and thus destroyed the idea that this was a spirit, and revealed that it is just a person behind the mask. Enoch is the overzealous Christian. It happened so quickly that the 6 men did not see it coming. There was only a brief scuffle, too brief even to allow the drawing of a sheathed machete. The 6 men were handcuffed and led into the guard room. That's messed up. It's pretty messed up. So the district commissioner said, "Hey, let's have a meeting. Let's have a meeting about this thing that happened while I was gone. Let's talk about this like men." And so they come to the meeting, and yeah, they're kind of wary, so they bring their swords and machetes, but the district commissioner brings his men, 12 of them, 12 versus 6, and they have the element of surprise. The 6 men of Umuofia were easily taken custody, including Okonkwo, the warrior. "We shall not do you any harm," said the district commissioner to them later, "if only you agree to cooperate with us. We have brought a peaceful administration to you and your people so that you may be happy. If any man ill-treats you, we shall come to your rescue. But we will not allow you to ill-treat others. We have a court of law where we judge cases and administer justice, just as it is done in my own country under a great queen. This is where there's a problem. Right here. This is where there's a problem. We have a court of law where we judge cases and administer justice as it is done in my own country. Is he in his country? No. He is in the country of the Umofians. He's in Africa. And it doesn't sound like he listened to what they want at all. It's kind of messed up. Yes, the chat on YouTube is delayed. I am so sorry. I will try to fix that, but I'm not sure how. That will be something that's on my to-do list of things to fix. Let me see. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'll figure it out. No worries. But thank you for the feedback, Mahad. Please, feel free to ask questions, and I'll definitely get to it, though. I have brought you here because you joined together to molest others, to burn people's houses and their places of worship. That must not happen in the dominion of our queen, the most powerful ruler in the world. I have decided that you will pay a fine of 200 bags of cowries. You will be released as soon as you agree to this and undertake to collect that fine from your people. What do you say to that? The 6 men remained sullen and silent, and the commissioner left them for a while. He told the court messengers, when he left the guardroom, to treat the men with respect, because they were the leaders of Umofia. They said, "Yes, sir," and saluted. As soon as the district commissioner left, the head messenger, who was also the prisoner's barber, took down his razor and shaved off all the hair on the men's heads. They were still handcuffed, and they just sat and moped. As soon as he leaves, as soon as the district commissioner leaves and says, treat the men with respect, what does the barber do? Cuts off all their hair. That's so messed up. It's... The district commissioner is all show. That's it. He thinks he's doing the right thing, but he's not. Who is the chief among you? The court messengers asked in jest. We see that every pauper wears the anklet of title in Umofia. Does it cost as much as your 10 cowries? The 6 men ate nothing throughout the day and the next. They were not even given any water to drink, and they could not go out to urinate or go into the bush when they were pressed. At night, the messengers came in to taunt them and to knock their shaven heads together. Is this respect? This is not how you treat people. Even prisoners, this isn't how you treat people. Even when the men were left alone, they found no words to speak to one another. It was only on the 3rd day, when they could no longer bear the hunger and the insults, that they began to talk about giving in. We should have killed the white man if you had listened to me, Okonko snarled. We would have been in Umuru now waiting to be hanged, someone said to him. Who wants to kill the white man? Asked a messenger who had just rushed in. Nobody spoke. You are not satisfied with your crime, but you must kill the white man on top of it. He carried a long stick, and he hit each man a few blows on the head and back. Okonko was choked with hate. As soon as the 6 men were locked up, court messengers went into Umofia to tell the people that their leaders would not be released unless they paid a fine of 250 bags of cowries. That is not the same. That is not the same that the district commissioner said. He said 200 bags of cowries. They're saying 250. Why do you think 250? Think about it. Think about it. Unless you pay the fine immediately, said their headman, we will take your leaders to Umuru before the big white man and hang them. This story spread quickly through the villages and was added to as it went. Some said that the men had already been taken to Umuru and would be hanged on the following day. Some said that their families would also be hanged. Others said that soldiers were already on their way to shoot the people of Umofia, as they had done in Abame. It is the time of the full moon. But that night the voice of children was not heard. The village Ilo, where they always gathered for a moon play, was empty. The women of Iguedo did not meet in their secret enclosure to learn a new dance to be displayed later to the village. Young men who were always abroad in the moonlight kept their huts that night. Their manly voices were not heard in the village paths as they went to visit their friends and lovers. Umofia was like a startled animal with ears erect, sniffing the silent, ominous air, and not knowing which way to run. So, it seems like they were tricked. They were clearly tricked. And now the people, remember the enforcers, the district commissioner's men, these are also African people who have learned the ways of the colonists, and they're taking advantage of that system. They're taking advantage of this power, and they are using it to subjugate, to take advantage of other Africans, of the Umofians. And now Umofia, this Okonkwo keeps saying that they're this proud, warlike people. They are now like afraid. This entire paragraph is like they are afraid and they're waiting for like something to happen. They don't know what to do. It's hard to address this issue, this enemy. The silence was broken by the village crier beating his sonorous ogene. He called every man in Umofia, from the Akakanma age group upwards, to a meeting in the marketplace after the morning meal. He went from one end of the village to the other and walked all its breadth. He did not leave out any of the main footpaths. Okonkwo's compound was like a deserted homestead. It was as if cold water had been poured on it. You just imagine imagine someone pouring cold water down your back. You like stiffen up and you get all cold and stuff. It's like his family is frozen. His family was all there, but everyone spoke in whispers. His daughter Azinma had broken her 28-day visit to the family of her future husband and returned home when she heard that her father had been imprisoned and was going to be hanged. As soon as she got home, she went to Obierka to ask what the men of Umofia were going to do about it. But Obierka had not been home since morning. His wives thought he had gone to a secret meeting. Azinma was satisfied that something was being done. So Azinma broke one of the traditions to spend a month with the family of her future husband, with her in-laws. And she came home when she found out her father, Okonkwo, was imprisoned. That's some dedication. Remember, this is the daughter that Okonkwo wished was a boy, so that she could take over for him. That's nice though. She's gonna get married. That's cool. On the morning after the village crier's appeal, the men of Mofia met in the marketplace and decided to collect without delay 250 bags of cowries to appease the white man. They did not know that 50 bags would go to the court messengers, who would increase the fine for that purpose. And there we have it, folks. That's corrupt policing, abusing your power so that you can extort. What is the meaning of extortion? Hold on, let me find out real quick. Extortion. I want to know the exact meaning so I can properly educate. Extortion. Extortion. The practice of obtaining something, especially money, through force or threats. So remember, the district commissioner asked for 200 bags of cowries. But the court messengers, the enforcers, they asked for 250 bags of cowries, or else they wouldn't release the prisoners, including Okonkwo. So I guess 50 bags of cowries are going to them. That is extortion. That's betrayal, trickery, and extortion, all in one chapter. And the thing is, like, they had no reason to. It's all purely for control, to control the Umofians. They're hiding behind this sense of justice. Like, this is how we run things in our country. You're not in your country. You're in Mafia land. Like, that is not, this isn't England. So this chapter pisses me off so much. It really does. But that's how it is. So that's chapter 23. The next two chapters go by relatively quickly. Chapter 24 is actually kind of long because a lot of stuff happens. And then chapter 25 is decent. A lot happens in these chapters. And you're going to see like the biggest conflict. And it's really sad. So I hope that you tune in for the next two readings. That's chapter 23 and 24 and 25 next week. Thank you for listening in for chapter 23. It's funny. He says Okonkwo had a feeling akin to happiness. He thought he won. Nope. You can't beat that system. And how do you beat it? I wonder if this makes you think about anything that's going on today. Any systems that are unfair, that are tricking, that are taking advantage of certain people. If you do, feel free to bring it up in discussion in class. I'd love to talk about it. And that's what makes this book so great. It really is very relevant. Okay, so before I do sign off, I have to answer Mahad's question. Thank you, Mahad, for asking. For those of you who don't know, I will be streaming again today, but this time from a different YouTube channel. I will be going live on Valley High School's YouTube channel. Yes, we have our Valley Vikings YouTube channel where we put announcements and we put videos of like graduation and stuff like that. Today I will be doing here we go. Bam. I prepared this. We are doing a teachers versus students match. I'm also the advisor for Varsity Quiz, and we have been very active. We want to invite you to our teachers versus students match today, April 28th, from 2:30 to 3:30. So right after school is over, please tune in. I'll be going live, maybe just a little bit early so I can set up. But we have a teachers versus students match. For those of you who don't know what Varsity Quiz is, it is an academic trivia competition. It's kind of like Jeopardy, but not really. Jeopardy is more just general trivia, and you try to buzz in before other people. But this is a head-to-head battle between a team of teachers and a team of students with a variety of topics that you would find in school. So I hope that you can watch. The meet is for teachers and students, but you can watch live on our YouTube channel. So we will see you then. Thank you so much for being here, and you all have a wonderful Wednesday. Take care, everybody, and see you in class.